Happy birthday, Daddy Mac.
Well, that one's wrapped up so nice, it must be from Frank. Electric shoe polisher.
Next.
I never knew why Daddy Mac was so mean to Uncle Frank. He was the kind of person I wanted to be. Smart and funny and considerate.
You're going to be the person you decide to be, or you're going to be the person everyone else tells you are. You get to choose.
Can I come visit you sometime?
Oh.
Heart attack just out of nowhere, getting into the car.
You need me for this. You know you do.
No, Wally, you're not coming.
We can take turns driving.
Are you the stupidest man alive?
Obviously. Look who I'm with.
Did you always know you were gay?
I always knew I was different.
What's wrong?
Wally?
Oh, hey! You forgot your razor. You rented a car? Isn't it snazzy?
Hey guys, I'm Kit Bowen with ScreenPicks. I'm a huge fan of both of yours, but Alan, you're one of my favorites. I think 6 Feet Under, the season finale of that was one of the best season finales of all time. I'm just going to say it out loud.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Made
so
me
much.
cry so hard. So then, speaking of crying, this movie, I was just dissolved, but like a happy dissolve. You know, I mean, there's a lot of pain in this, but it was just really, really well done. And Paul, you did an amazing job as well. I'm sorry, I'm gushing a little bit. I really did like the movie a lot.
Oh, thank you.
But I mean, you know, this is based on your family, I take it, or parts of your family. Is that correct?
When I came out of the closet, my mom told me that she blamed my father because she thought that he might have been that way too. And later I found out about a very good friend of his. They were extremely close as young men, who drowned in a lake, and he accompanied the body home to their hometown of Asheville, North Carolina. I don't know if my father was gay. I never will, because he was already dead by the time my mom told me this. But something in my brain sort of opened up, and I just thought, what if that were true? What would that story have been? What could it have been? So in that sense, it's not really based on anything that I know for sure happened, but it's based on an idea that might have been the case.
Did you have an uncle that you loved very much in your family?
I did not have an Uncle Frank, and I could have used one.
How about you,
no,
Paul?
I did not.
Do you have a favorite relative that meant something to you growing up?
Yes, it did. I had two. One, mine was Uncle Theo, and his wife Auntie Jill, and they really saved me. I remember that when it's a sweet story, because actually he was such a very good object for me to look at and imagine being as a sort of non-toxic male. And he was dying when he was dying of cancer. There was this moment where it came the time where he couldn't get up the stairs anymore, and my Auntie Jill, he said, "Could you bring my book down? I left my book by the bed." So she went up and she brought the book down. And then he went, "Oh my God, I left the glasses up, my spectacles. Could you go and get my spectacles?" And she screamed at him and just in rage, you this. And of course, all it was about was, "I know you're going to die in 6 weeks." And he said, "You know what, Jill, there comes a time in every man's life when he looks back over his own life, and he sometimes needs to say some really important things." And of course, Jill was like, "Oh my God, what's he gonna say?" And he said, "That gentleman's relish you've been buying recently, I really don't like it." And it was the most beautiful, gentle, he totally understood where her rage was coming from. And they kissed and cuddled, and that was the end of that.
Oh, that's a wonderful story. Thank you for that.
That is a wonderful story.
Those two people are the people that are, really they were my Uncle Franks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm my time will get short, but for you, Alan, what do you hope people will take from this? Because I feel like, you know, this movie, of course, transcends all things, but also just not just in this country, but in other countries. I mean, what do you hope people will take from it?
Two things. One would be that it's never too late to begin a process of healing from a horrific, tragic trauma earlier in your life. It doesn't have to happen in your 20s. It can happen in your 40s. It can happen in your 60s. And the other one is that, you know, we all have to accept each other. We have to accept our differences. And you know, I like at the end how the family is asked to accept Frank, and most of them can, but some of them can't. And then I love when Frank says to Aunt Butch at the end, I know this is the best you're capable of.
I love that scene.
Because he's accepting her, you know, and it works both ways. And so I guess those are the two things I'd like for people to take away with.
You're not going to run away from this your whole life.
Frank!
You need to be part of your family.
I don't want to be a part of my family.
But I've traveled a long way.
So when you told me I should be what I want to be, that was just bullshit. You know, that conversation changed my life.
But I